November is Epilepsy Awareness Month, and while just about everyone has heard of the condition, few people really know much about it. So today we've asked neurologist Dr. Allison Weaver from Ascension St. Vincent to help us understand epilepsy just a little bit better. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you.
I've read, in preparing for today, I read that more than 3 million people in the U.S. have epilepsy, and I even know people who have it.
Yes.
But I don't really know what it is. Explain to us, what is epilepsy?
So basically, anyone who has an unprovoked seizure at least 3 times can be diagnosed with epilepsy. And even beyond that, 1 in 10 people at some point in their life can have a seizure. Not all of those people will go on to develop epilepsy.
Now, is this a neurological condition? Is it just the seizure itself that's epilepsy, but is this a brain neurological situation?
Exactly. So all of our brain waves, the nerves, the neurons, communicate with electrical activity. So if a group of those nerve cells start firing too strong and too fast, that can create the seizure.
Okay. Now, is there a cause? Is there something specifically that causes this to happen?
Unfortunately, with a lot of people, we don't know why the seizures start to happen. Sometimes it can run in families, so there may be a genetic component. Sometimes they can start later in life. If someone has a stroke or a brain infection or head trauma, those things can start seizures.
But it's not, it has to be an event. There's nothing that's really contagious about it. You can't spread it to other
people. Nothing contagious,
people.
that's right. But it can happen at any age, any race, any ethnicity. All of them have seizures.
And does it just come on through seizures, or is there other symptoms to look out for?
Mainly it's just the presence of repetitive seizures that are unprovoked. Some things can actually cause seizures, and you don't necessarily will be diagnosed epilepsy. So if you have like severe electrolyte abnormality, or if a diabetic's glucose, their sugar levels get way too low, they can have a seizure. And alcohol withdrawal or intoxication with some drugs, those can cause seizures. But in epilepsy, you have to have at least 3 and not due to some underlying cause.
Gotcha. Now, talk about those seizures. It's a situation where it can be really scary for not only the person having it, but also for people witnessing it.
Yes.
What kind of advice do you have? What tips do you have for people who may be in the presence of this happening and want to help? How can they help, or can they? What should they do?
Absolutely. So the first thing is to make sure, usually the person is completely unconscious when they're having a seizure. So make sure they're somewhere safe. If they're in the road, try to move them out of the road. Or if they're, in a position where they could get injured, try to move them in like lying down is best and lying on the side is best. Most seizures, even though it seems like they last a long time, they usually only last about a minute or 2. And so if someone is having one lasting longer than that, or if they have seizures back to back and they're not waking up, it's time to call 911.
Now, can seizures or can epilepsy itself be debilitating? Can it be fatal? How serious can it be?
It's very debilitating, because even by state law, if you have a seizure, you cannot drive for 3 to 6 months.
Wow.
So people who have uncontrolled epilepsy, they can't drive, they can't operate heavy machinery, they have to be very careful. We recommend that they take showers and not baths. Don't go in a swimming pool alone, don't go fishing alone, because if they should have a seizure, then they can get injured.
And I also know that epilepsy has had a stigma to it for many years, but it's very unfair to have that stigma and that thought about it. What do you want to say to people about that? Because, it goes back for centuries where this was thought to have been, something preternatural, not normal.
It does. People get embarrassed if they're out in public. They don't want to be seen being out of control of their bodies. But it is something that millions of people, like you said earlier in the segment, they're living with it. Sometimes seizures are happening to them every day. It's part of their lives, and so they don't want too much negative attention.
Right.
So just understanding, sympathy, and just letting them know you support them.
And leading a perfectly normal life, but just having to look out for this situation.
Yes. And as time goes on, as research gets better, we have more and more treatments, more and more medications for it, and there's options for surgery, and there's even increasing implantable devices that can help with seizures. So with time, hopefully we can eventually get them all controlled. There's some really neat things coming down the pike for seizure treatment.
Well, we'll look forward to that, and maybe have you back on to talk about that. Dr. Allison Weaver with Ascension, thanks so much for clearing that up and talking to us about this Epilepsy Awareness Month. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
All right. Well, another cold day in the tri-state, but our weekend should be better. Wayne has the latest in his forecast coming up next. Stay